What's that?
Welcome to WhoDooTV. We are live Tuesday, the March 20th. We're talking new comic books for March 21st. What's up? I'm Hoosier, and I got my friend along with me.
I am the bald moose.
Here, man. How has your week been?
It was the weather's nice, so I did some yard work. Kind of felt good getting over the hump of return from vacation. You know how it always takes a little time to kind of get yourself situated. I had some time this weekend where I caught up on all my reading. So yeah, I'm set and ready to go for this week.
You had a fat stack to read last week, I would assume.
My goodness, yeah, it was about like that. It was about like that, and I got through them all of them done.
Nice. Nice. That's a lot of reading, man. So where'd you find the time for that?
When the wife says, I'm going to go get coffee with her best friend, Christy, that's like 4 or 5 hours, man. It's not like an hour long thing. When the wife says she's going to go out and hang out with her friends, man, I come up into my office here, crack open comic books, and read to my heart's content. Read.
Nice.
Sometimes I even get a chance to reread.
Nice. Did you read anything special or noteworthy or notable?
Well, my brother in law, he and my nephew's solid. He swung by Emerald City Comic Con thing again. He swung by David Mack and had got a little poster. I haven't hung it up yet, but I can show that off real quick. It's for the New American Gods. It's signed by
Nice.
David Mack. That eventually will be hanging on my wall, and that was sweet. That's a very nice looking. My brother-in-law also found a little bag of goodies like this. I guess Skybound was having a little bit of a party, and they had a bunch of what do you call them?
Just uncolored variants,
Yeah,
huh?
uncolored variants. They're the ash can. That's what I was looking for. Ash can for Redneck #1, Slots #1, and Evolution #1. Haven't gotten a chance to read those. I've already read Redneck, so I
Nice.
probably won't reread that one. But the other two I haven't had a chance to read just yet. So, but yeah,
Nice.
it was a good week. It's a good week so far.
Some good books that came out last week. I know Kent's Grass Kings was one of them that I always get my nose into every week. And then, of course, the Valiant books, Ninjak Versus was pretty good.
It was solid.
Um,
I like the direction they're going. Um, I really liked. I think maybe the best part was that his bit with Shadow Man. I didn't expect that. Uh, as soon as basically Ninjak wakes up, boom, there he is off running with Shadow Man. I thought that was really cool. Very entertaining from that aspect.
Ninjak Versus, well, the characters look really cool. That's one thing to give it. The characters do look really good in this book. I think we're gonna get some cool ones on the show. And then who was it? Travis over at Valiant Comics Review. He goes, "Isn't it kind of funny that in Bloodshot, Ninjak sends Bloodshot to the dead side, but in this one, Bloodshot sends Ninjak to the dead side?"
Yes, I kind of thought that in the back of my mind too.
I was like,
Yeah,
"That's pretty fun."
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so good call out from Travis on that. But yeah, it is kind of interesting to have that. And then moving on, I mean, not moving on, but staying right there in the Ninjak versus WonderCon announced that there's going to be a little panel
Big
with
news.
Ninjak, with XO, and
Basically, all the characters. I think
yeah,
all the characters will be there. It's going to be on Saturday night, so I think they're planning a bunch of stuff. From what we know, they're not showing the first episode, but they're showing some extras, which is great. That's fantastic. Anything. Um, but it's kind of like, come on. You've had two great big cons to do this, one in your own backyard, bat in the sun. You should have just kicked it off right here and there. But
this one's technically in Bat in the Sun's backyard. They're
yeah,
California based.
yeah, that's what I was referencing. Bat in the sun's backyard. I should have been more specific. But I mean, you have the audience in Emerald City. You are now in your own backyard at this con here. I'm guessing they're gonna wait till C2E2 to kick it off. Maybe they won't go to a con and do it. I don't know.
I think they're going to do their own thing because I know in April they've announced in April that on their Facebook they had a picture of John Hennigan, or whatever you want to call him, John Morrison, the Eternal Warrior, and
Yeah.
it said April on that. So that's kind of huge that that's happening around there. I am frustrated that it's just more scenes. It's like any of the other Ninjak versus panels. Here's a new scene that you haven't seen before. Here's a new
Yeah.
scene, and just been little pieces pieced apart. It's I hope that it's been learned from, that they don't try to hype it up way too early like they did,
Yeah.
because it lost a lot of momentum and a lot. I mean, obviously the DMG kind of bursted everybody's bubble too.
Yeah.
But even before that, the excitement was tearing away.
Well, it was tearing away, especially with the Valiant Faithful, as they're just getting frustrated the longer and longer it went. But I think what is suffering is now that it's getting closer and the release is supposed to be in April, Valiant really hasn't done anything to hype this up, to get people back to being excited, which you could do. Have anybody come out, one person, and just pump this. And I mean, it's not that long, it's not that far away, but somebody to pump this up, to get people motivated to tune into it, to get the advertisements out there. Bat and the Sun probably can't do it all on themselves, even though they're popular enough.
Yeah.
Getting another entity, a couple of entities out there to just say, hey, look at me, look at this, watch this right here, over here, get down here and subscribe so that you're going to be first to be able to watch it. That kind of stuff is paramount to drumming up that kind of interest.
But who's going to do it? And that's the thing, is you got a lot of people. I mean, you have pretty much, we found out news of another Valiant person leaving again. Their social media manager is leaving, or has left. We kind of know that it's two of the editors that were pretty big up, Danny and Charlotte, are gone. We know that Hunter's gone. You know what I mean? So, I mean, really, Dinesh and Hunter are gone. Who's going to be doing it? Social media manager's not there anymore. Who's going to be social media marketing that up? Josh Johns isn't there, who is a headline. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think how it was announced at New York Comic Con, coming up 2 years, this next Comic Con will be 2 years, 2 full years.
Yeah.
3 Comic Cons later, you know what I mean? And that it's still not there. So, I mean, hopefully they, when you're ready to announce it, give us a little less time. Announce it at Emerald City and then premiere it at New York. That's.
If you want to do it on the cheap, one thing is Valiant come down here. They can pay me $60K. That's pretty cheap for a social media motivator, if you will, and I'll push that thing everywhere. I will get people tuned in. If I got to go bust into their house, I'm big enough. I'll just go to my next door neighbor, turn on his computer, get right in there. Here, YouTube, watch this right now. Watch it again and again until I tell you you're done. Then I'll go to my next neighbor and do it. I mean,
too big for your britches, man. Getting too big for your britches. Just that charisma that Dinesh has, it's missed. But that's WonderCon. So WonderCon doesn't have a whole lot going on. With Valiant wise, they have a panel. There will be some Valiant people there, but they don't have a booth.
Which is
but there is that Ninjak Versus. So if you guys are there, give us some news. I know Josh over at Get Valiant. Check those guys out. Their podcast rocks. Josh is going to be there. Hopefully you get some news from them. There's a couple people going to be there, so I'm sure Ed over at Comics Collector's Paradise is going to be there too. So
yes, you will.
Maybe we'll get some more. Some awesome things that I'm looking forward to hearing, and I'm sure Sean from VCR will be there too. So,
that's his backyard.
So we should get some news. We should hear some stuff from people. Another comic news that came out is the June solicits have just been kind of released.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And there was 2 things absent from Marvel's solicit, and that was 2 of the legacy launch books that were going to be coming out that were tied in with this huge Marvel legacy push, and that is Falcon. So no Falcon is set for June, and then Miles Morales Spider-Man, the one Brian Michael Bendis was supposed to be writing, is not on the list.
Yeah, that looks like they canned the Miles Morales after 4. I don't know how far the new Miles Morales went, and I don't quite understand why. I guess because Bendis was supposed to be writing it, he's not going to be writing it now.
This was supposed to be a brand new one, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is not there. So yeah, it was going to be 234, but I believe, and it's not there. So, but it was going to be the new one with that. Another sad mark for Marvel too. So
Yeah, it's well when you lose somebody like Bendis and you're counting on him to do multiple things. It hurts in more way than one. You lose a book, you lose a popular book, you lose the force, the drive, everything that he represents. I mean, you bring in somebody like Bendis into any comic book company, and you're bringing a chunk of followers with. So it's a little bit of steam they lose. Absolutely.
yeah, huge change there. Um, so yeah, who knows what'll happen with Legacy? Because I know they were really hoping that would change some numbers for them. But listen, I guess let's get into books that we're getting this week, man.
New books.
What are you pulling? What books are you reading this week? Everybody else, same question to you on the live chat. Tell us what you're reading.
Well, the first book that I wanted to throw out there is one that I'm curious about, and I figured I'd throw it out there to everybody else to see if maybe they could give us some information on it. And that's the new Batman Sins of the Father, written by Christos Gage. It's number 2 is coming out. If there's anybody that can fill me in, because I'm liking my White Knight Batman. If this one, which is I think supposed to be a 6, 2 of a run of 6 or maybe 8. If it's good, maybe I'll hop over and start reading that one too, because I'm really liking the Batman that I've got right now. But if somebody out there has read that number 1 and plans on picking up the number 2, give us some intel about it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So, nice. But I'll start off with the quintessential. I think there's a lot of people out there that's excited about Department H number 24. The last one.
The last issue of the underwater murder mystery, man.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting that it's coming to an end. So, yeah, I've read the first 12. I haven't gotten around to picking up the rest of the trades and getting the rest of them. But it's a fantastic book. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, you got to give it up for Matt. He's got some solid stories, and then Charlene and them doing that together.
Yes.
So, when I was doing the interview with Matt, he goes, after doing that many issues with your wife and we're still married, things are good.
Yeah. And I've gotten a chance to meet and talk with her 2 Emerald Cities ago. Fantastic woman. She is great. Yeah. And she's got a good sense of humor on her. She rolls with the punches. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, both of them. I will support their stuff. I mean, they do good things. That's what's awesome, but they're awesome people too. So I'm definitely going to support the people that that are actually good people. So good call out on that. Department H number 24.
How about you, Ruby? What you got?
Another one, and this is a guy we got an interview out. This should be coming out eventually as soon as we can get to editing. Was Baby Teeth number 9. We got to talk to Donnie Cates. So this is an Aftershock book, and it has just been pretty much I believe Aftershock's best book. It is a twisted story, just like you would expect from Donnie Cates now. And, he's tearing it up. He's also got Thanos number 17 out this week too. And, he's been, going with Thanos. He's got some good stories that are coming out. He's eventually going to be getting on Venom.
Okay.
Yeah. He's eventually going to be getting on Venom. And then I believe this was never told to me, but it's my speculation that he's going to be on some Ghost Rider?
Okay.
Night Rider, whatever it is. God, I'm brain farting right now.
Ghost Rider, maybe?
Yeah, Ghost Rider. So yeah, some good Donnie Cates going on. What else you got?
Well, you're talking about Teeth. I'm talking about Teeth, and talking about Vinegar Teeth number 3. I remember when this solicit first came out for their number 1. And I pushed that a bit. I want to say I read it, but then that was, a while ago. But that's one. Vinegar Teeth is one that I found to be interesting. It's about a sheriff who's kind of a sleazeball who pairs up with this tentacle-like being to solve a murder mystery. It's not hugely serious, but it's kind of funny when you got a sleazy sheriff doing sleazy things to try and solve a serious murder. So that's one that might be interesting for those that like a little bit of comedy with their serious.
Cool. Yeah, I take that. One that's a good call out, and it's from a writer I've learned to enjoy quite a bit, is Greg Pak. He's got Weapon H #1. So this is the Marvel call out. What don't normally always call out Marvel books, but I had two on today. Thanos 17, Weapon H #1. Yeah, what's there not to like? Greg Pak, Corey Smith on this. And just, I mean, this is the guy who wrote Planet Hulk. So I mean, pretty sure it's going to be a solid story to look at there. Weapon H #1.
That might be one that I might take a look at as well, just for curiosity's sake. It doesn't hurt to buy $4 worth of a comic book just to give it a roll.
Yep. What's your next one?
Well, one I've got that, again, you're flowing with the familiar December #28. I'm thinking of Christmas and New Year's parties already. December 28. That one, just anything Descender. I've enjoyed 15, 18 of those books so far. As I'm catching up with the series, I love to trade paperback those. It's a good story. It really is.
Dude, I love Descender, man. I think it's such a cool story. I mean, I know Sony has the rights to it, and Sony will just buy stuff and sit on it. But I hope they do something with that story because he is kind of just killing it. So,
yeah, it's a quality story.
Yep. And so, shout out, we got Lethal Lightning that's been on board. He actually said on here, DC Middle ends next week. Got high hopes for an epic ending for the last two books. So have been damn good. So yes, Metal has been a solid story. Then Alternative Fan, our friend Anthony is up. So thanks for joining us. And then it looks like the Uncanny Kyle Waka. So got some people on here. So thanks for joining us today, guys. One that I am going to call out is an Image title, and it is by another Valiant Talent again. Another cool guy as well that is a fun person to talk to, and that is Death of Love. So that's Justin Jordan's miniseries that he is doing, and I have enjoyed it. The first issue was solid. He has a character Philo. We did a review on that book, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty. I mean, it came out on Valentine's Day, so this is the follow up to that. And I think Cupid might get his head chopped off. I'm not sure, but if it's goes to some of the past of Justin Jordan, it should be a good book because the guy writes a pretty darn good story.
Cool. Yeah. So, have we gotten any feedback from Batman yet?
Not yet, no. So we were asking about Batman, the death of our, what was it?
I was gonna say, look, people, come on. If you want comic book reviews, you got to read comic books. I mean, we're not going to go out there and read them for you. Come on. No, I'm just joking. We're not getting that book, I guess. But I will throw this other one out there because I do like the idea of it. Or I should say, the book is called Moonshine #8, and I really like Moonshine. So maybe there's somebody out there that's read that book. If you have, let me know. I'm curious about it. It's got the right name, as Moonshine is very tasty. It can be, especially if it's done right. So if you've read Moonshine, there's 8 books there so far. If you know anything about it, let us know.
Everybody just ignore Chris. He's already been drinking the moonshine. Does not mean what he says. He's just saying what his mumble drunkenness is going on. So ignore the moose. Don't look a moose in the eyes, guys.
Water.
Sure it is water, right? Yep. And then a killer story. It's literally a killer story. Killer be killed. Number 17, Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. Like, you're looking at just a freaking great story. And it's just this dude with the curse, man. He's in the mental hospital, and just that creative team, man. They continue to do it. That continues to be a weekly seller or a monthly seller for Image. And it's just a beautiful looking book all the way around.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. If you haven't read that, dude, get into it, man. It's like 3 trades in, but it is worth it. It's one of dude, it's cool. It's a good book to read, dude. So if you haven't got into that, Chris, you need to do that book, man.
Well, I do belong in a psych ward, so
Well, we know that. Well,
Moonshine. It's warping.
and a detox facility with all that moonshine.
One of the last ones that I have is not a book that I've read. Um,
Don't go watch the movie.
huh?
I was told don't go watch the movie
Why is that?
because it sucks.
What? Hasn't come out yet. But the movie is Pacific Rim Aftermath. And it looks like it must pick up at a prior to, before, maybe somewhere in the middle of the movie, as it does portray a lot of the actors in the book. And I was curious, one, if anybody's out there that's read it, but if I know that we've got fans of Transformers out there, and Pacific Rim is, big mechanized machines, and so maybe it translates if, for those fans that like that kind of thing. It was a book that I didn't know that was out, and I enjoyed the first movie. I'm kind of looking forward to the second one. So it might be one that I try and see if I can't find book number 1 and 2 and catch up on it.
You liked the first one?
I didn't mind it, yeah, because I didn't know anything previously. I mean, I know it. I want to say it does stem from a book or something, right? Comic something. So I didn't know. So I didn't invest any in trying to read any of that stuff. I just was. I went to be. I shouldn't say I did. I rented it to be entertained.
Okay.
I didn't go to see it. I rented it.
So if you want something that's good to watch, that's entertaining, I'm going to suggest a movie that's on Amazon right now, Amazon Prime, and I believe it's Valerian and the Land of a Thousand Planets.
Yes.
It's off of a French graphic novel. I enjoyed the movie. It was a huge freaking budget video movie. It didn't get the press that it should had, but I liked it, dude. So,
I remember, hey, and this is how long I've been following you, John. I remember your guys' review on it.
Hey, there you go.
That was back in the day. I remember your review on that movie.
Dude, I dug it, dude. So it's Amazon Prime right now. So
cool.
Check that out. I would say that would be something to get.
I'm writing it down.
How about you? Do you have any another comedy book or anything out there?
No, I think Moonshine would have been my more comedy if I would have been caught up on it. I think
really nothing by a writer who he writes for Steve Colbert.
Oh well, there's that
little short guy with glasses. I mean,
there is that comedy book.
But before you go there, if you're on the live chat, tell us what you're reading. We want to know what you guys are reading. So make sure you put that on the live chat. We'd like to hear what you guys are getting into, what you guys got on your pull list.
What's the first one that pops up?
It hasn't popped up yet. So
okay.
You can talk about Daniel Kibble-Smith.
Oh, okay. Well, I can talk a little bit about Kibble-Smith and the next Quantum and Woody, which I did get a chance to read. It's fantastic. It's starting to really get some legs and move, and I like the direction that Kibble-Smith is taking this. I really do wish he had stuck around longer than he will have, but I really don't think that it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be a letdown. I enjoyed the first set of books, and then when Kibble-Smith is done and it picks up, I think it's going to continue, maybe a little different, but I think that might be a good thing. But this book here, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good solid read. I think it's a worthwhile pickup.
And I think he's got one more issue on it. Then he's handing the keys over to, or is that next month?
This is number 4, right?
It's on number 4.
So then he goes to 6.
Well, I think Elliot Rahal jumps on because
at number 6
tie into Harbinger Wars, and Harbinger Wars is next month.
Yes, yeah.
Or May. I'm
so yes, then he jumps in on 6.
Yep.
Rahal
he's got one more issue, and then we got Elliot Rahal jumping in for that. So yeah, Quantum and Woody. I mean, dude, I wish Kibble-Smith was sticking around a little bit longer. Did you get a chance to read Valiant High, or have I asked you that 20 times?
You'd asked me that 20 times, and I know it's coming out, so I will be reading it then.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone online to get it, no.
Dude, Kibble-Smith's just a clever writer, man. Clever writer.
Yes.
Hard guy to not enjoy what he's writing. He is funny. Like, he is, Steve Colbert doesn't write his jokes. He writes Steve Colbert's jokes, of one of many. There's a bunch of writers on it. I mean, he's one of the many writers that helped write, the Oscars a year ago when Steve Colbert hosted those. So yeah, he's very talented individual. Another talented individual who wrote a book or book. I'm sorry, he wrote a TV show. He's part of the writers for Daredevil, the Netflix season 1. And you mentioned one of his books earlier, but is Christos Gage on Ninja K #5. This is the close of that first arc, the Ninja program, the Ninja Files. I'm sorry, and it's basically the uncovering of who's been behind this this program to basically keep ninjas in the system and kind of seclude them to the ninja program to be connected to it. And it's this book has been just off the hook, dude.
It
I've one of
has.
my favorites, man.
It has. It it has been a great ride, and it really digs into some interesting ideas, especially when you're talking about almost spy versus spy. If you go back to Cold War era and how that it's almost what's the Matt Damon movie?
I'm Matt Damon. I'm Matt
I'm
Damon.
Matt Damon. But no, but really, it's almost it's really any spy.
Oh, Jason Bourne.
Yeah, Bourne.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
Bourne series. It kind of feels a little bit like that in the aspect where there's repercussions for doing these drastic things to keep people in line and in this system. And then when the repercussions happen, you suffer the consequences, and mayhem follows.
Right. Yeah, dude. I think we're gonna see the Jonan kind of be him. But yeah, you're gonna get into it. It's called London Falling. So I mean, that's you know, sounds pretty awesome. It sounds like something you should get on. And then you're gonna have the coalition is gonna be
That's
the
coming up.
next arc.
I'm so
And
excited about that.
yeah, just the cover there excites me when you see all the characters on the cover. Dr. Mirage, and Punk Mambo, and you know, just some evil villains.
And yeah, it's the villains I think that I'm probably the most interested in. I mean, all the good guys, we know that, and we can push that aside. But especially Custody the Deathless, she was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's a bad guy, which puts her more into that gray area. I'll be interested to see what Christos Gage does to bring her into the fold and and create this person that really looks like a bad guy but was a good guy. I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. And if she becomes a bad guy, do we have a long-term bad guy? Because Custody the Deathless isn't supposed to die.
Yeah, I don't
I
know,
think,
man.
I think it would be great for future books.
Yeah, I think having some good villains is always a good thing, right?
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
it is always a good thing. I mean, that's what's made Batman, in my opinion, is his rogues gallery. He's had some iconic ones. Some of them are very annoying, which is actually not a bad thing. It makes you dislike the guy.
Right.
But that's been something I think Matt can't set up really well. He's really good at creating characters, and he set up a very good villain base for Ninjak. And yeah, and especially with the turn of this, the Ninja Files, the Ninja Program, is MI6 good or bad? And where does it lead from there? Sign me up.
Yeah.
So sign me up. And then we got some other books coming next week, 2 weeks out. And we won't talk about those just yet. But we know the Valiant books that are coming, and I believe it's Exo Manowar, right? Yep,
Yeah. Yep.
13. So this is the close of this arc. That's gonna be the last one of that. So and then Shadow Man 1, dude.
I'm
Yes.
stoked.
Shadow Man 1. Oh,
Yes, I'm stoked. And again, this is more kind of like the typical retailer's edition where there's no words, all art. I'm impressed by all the art. I had fun just skimming through that book. I'm excited for this entire series. I really have. They've got 2 years planned out. I'm excited for something like this. And I want him dark. I want him dirty. I want him almost halfway bad guy, good guy, does whatever he needs to do to keep the dead in place.
yes. So what I really want out of Shadow Man is I want him to finally put a pair on and get rid of Dark. You know what I mean? Like, because he hasn't been the superhero he's supposed to be, right? I mean, it's like he almost always loses,
Yes.
you know, and that's what sucks. Like, he's not. That's what are we cheering him for? And we need. I understand the adversity, but they need to make some changes with him. I had heard at a panel actually, and this is we could jump more on this next week too. But that they had talked about Shadow Man potentially becoming a villain in the universe at one point and being like the villain of the Valiant U. So that's pretty interesting. So, but we'll talk about that next week. Outside of that, I want to thank everybody for jumping on. I think Chris's computer froze on us a little bit.
I'm back, man.
Oh, there he is. There he is. But
that was weird. You were going in super slow motion. It was funny. I was laughing.
Dude, the moonshine, dude. Lay off the moonshine.
I think my computer's drinking it.
No, dude, come on. Come on. Quit the moonshine. All right. But thank you guys for jumping on. Chris, again, thank you for getting on here, man.
Absolutely.
Rock and roll, man. And thank you guys for jumping on. Make sure you're putting in the comments below what you're reading, what we should be reading, and also hit that like button, subscribe, and all of the above. You guys rock. And, say that.